The day you decide to decenter your husband in your marriage is the day that you will find ultimate happiness, ultimate true happiness. Before you go crazy, sit down, let me tell you. I'm talking from my own experience, from my own marriage. Firstly, I'm going to tell you what I used to do in my marriage. I used to cook, clean, do all the things. Mind you, I have a full-time job, and I was the only one that did those things. At first, I thought it was my duty as a wife, and also I thought it was what women do in order to be good women or to be good wives. However, it was taking a toll on me because you'd find that I come back from work and I cook, I clean, there's people in the house. So that's the one thing. The second thing the second thing is that I didn't communicate that I needed help, but also I felt disappointed that I actually need to communicate that, because as a loving person that lives with someone, you should be caring enough to be empathetic to the other person, to think about the other person, to think what they could be experiencing. Because if I know that I am the one that lives with someone. If someone cooks today, tomorrow I won't let them cook. I'll be cooking myself, and I'll probably clean. And if I get back from work first, I'll be the one cooking. But if that's the case, that I always get back from work first, I'll be the one cooking. Yes, it will be my obligation to cook every day or cook every time I get back from work. But you should be doing something else. You should be doing the dishes. I can't be cooking every day and doing the dishes every day, So I was doing all those things and making sure that the baby is sleeping, the baby is bathed before sleeping, the baby is fed before sleeping, the house is spick and span. I would come back from work, I would cook. After cooking, I'd make sure that the kitchen is clean, I'd make sure that the house is at least swept, my grandmother always told me that every day you wake up, you sweep the floor, and you don't sleep with dishes in the sink. You wash the dishes before you sleep. So every day you wake up, you make your bed, sweep the floor, and then if you make breakfast, then you wash the dishes again. So now I always had that thing where I need to sweep the house every day. And also I'm a person that likes to be in a clean environment. And because I had centered my husband, I always wanted him to, because I knew that he liked home cooked meals. So I always wanted him to have a home cooked meal. I would come back from work, cook, not because sometimes I'm hungry or because I want to eat a home cooked meal, but because I thought that's what he wanted, and I was always having him in mind. Now that built a lot of resentment, because sometimes I would find him home and then he's not cooking, or he's not doing anything to assist me. And I found that for me, that's building something else. It's building a lot of resentment, because I feel like I have to do those things, but he never asked me to do those things. It's the pressure that I put on myself to think that as a good wife, my house must always be clean, my house must always have a home cooked meal, and I put a lot of strain on myself. And I harbored a lot of resentment because I didn't communicate the things that I wanted. But also I felt like, why should I communicate? Why don't you think that it's important or it's necessary for you to help me in this manner? Okay, now when I've decided to, and you found that in me centering my husband, that sometimes I wanted to go to the gym. I don't meet my fitness goals because I wanted to go and exercise 5 times a week. You find that I come back from work and I find the house is dirty and there's no food in the house. I cook, I clean. By the time I'm done with that, I'm exhausted. I want to sleep. But then I decided, you know what, I'm going to center myself in my life. I am the main character of my life, and before I can pour on anyone's cup, my cup should be filled. And my cup should be filled. It would be filled by making sure that I meet my fitness goals. I go and exercise 5 times a week, whether the house has food or not. People in it can sort themselves out because they are old enough to know what to eat and what to make for themselves without having to wait for me. Also, I went to the gym without having that guilt. I would come back from the gym, maybe it's late, come back, make the food if I have the energy, make the food and clean whatever I can clean if I have the energy. However, if I don't have the energy, then I don't have the energy. People must see what to do. And also I found that, you know what, always wanting things to be perfect in the house is just not feasible at that moment, because we didn't have outside help and it was just me. So I was like, you know what, sometimes we will sleep with just a sandwich bread, or we'll just eat takeaways sometimes. And then sometimes I'll find that I'm too tired after gym, I just want to take a shower and go to bed, or just rest, or just scroll on social media like normal people, because I never had time even for my phone, because by the time I'm done with everything, it's time for bed, and tomorrow we have another day, so I can't spend the whole night looking at my phone. And I found that I didn't have time for myself, so I make time now, and I read a book, and I'm like, I want to switch off, I want to read a book. I read a book, whether the dishes are there or not, I will read a book. I will fill my cup the way that I want to fill my cup, because I've decided to center my life. I know other people view that as selfish, or you are a self-centered person. And yes, it is being self-centered. I'm centering my life because nobody else is going to center me in their lives. So I need to center myself in my life. I need to make sure that I am the Beyonce of this group, which is my life. So I am the Beyonce of this life. Yes, I have other people that I take care of, I am responsible for, but how can I take care of those people if I don't take care of myself? So I need to first take care of myself. I decided those things, and now I sometimes felt like I'm always tired. Now, if I feel like my body is tired and it's telling me to rest, I rest. Whether there's dishes, whether there's laundry to do, I rest because my body is telling me to rest. And guess what? When I wake up from the rest, I wake up refreshed. I have the energy to cook, to clean, and do whatever. I have the energy. And also, what I've started to do now, I have a cleaner that comes in once a week on weekends, because I used to do the spring cleaning on a Friday. Every Friday I used to do the spring cleaning. When I come back from work, I would do the spring cleaning, move the couches, sweep under the couches, mop under the couches and everything, under the beds and everything. That was my thing every Friday. But you find that on Saturday already the floors are dirty, there's water that dripped on the floor, nobody cared to wipe it. And you ask yourself, why is it that I spring cleaned yesterday but already it's dirty like that? It's because people don't do that, because you're the only one who cares enough to do it. And when people don't do something, they take it for granted. It's like cooking. When you cook every day, you find people complaining about the taste of food. Oh, it's this, it's salty, or it's spicy, or it's too oily. They don't appreciate the value that you put into the producing the food. They don't know how much effort it takes to prepare food, and they complain about it, but they don't do it. But yet they complain about it, or they don't care to appreciate it. So, excuse me. So I find that when people don't do the thing themselves, they're easy to not care about it, to mess it up, like cleaning. And you don't care, because if you don't wipe the water on the floor, you don't really know what's going to happen, because you don't care to clean it. But if you knew that you had to clean it, you would make sure that when you drip water on the floor, you wipe it immediately, things like that. So I started to care less about things like that. I would relax and just let things be. And once you relax and let things be, you see people chipping in and doing the stuff that needs to be done even without you, because they see the need. And now you're not too much there, and you're not overtaking people. When they start to think about it, you're already there. No, you let people do things that they want to do. You let people have the room to do things, because when you're always the one who's pushing forward, people don't have the room to do it, and they relax because they know, oh, you got it. And they don't think that maybe you need help. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put myself first. I go out on dates with girls, and when I come back on dates with my girls, I feel so refreshed. Because now I got to interact with women who are like-minded, and I got to fill my cup, and I feel happy, I feel rejuvenated, and I can come back home a lighter person. I don't have all this burden that I'm carrying, and I put myself in the center, and I leave my child, I leave my husband. They can bond with each other. I want to bond with my girls, and I want to be at peace, and I want to be happy, and I want to come back to them a new person. So that's what I do to make sure that I have a wholesome life and I have a wholesome marriage. In my marriage, I'm so happy. I wasn't happy the first few years, but now I am so happy because I've decided to decenter my husband. I've decided to decenter my children. I've decided to be the girl that I want to be. I will come back to them when I want to come back.